welcome back to my channel. So for today's YouTober video, I am talking all about solo travel, especially as a female solo traveler. I thought it would just be nice to kind of just sit down and chat with you guys. I wanted to share my thoughts on my first solo trip. So in case you didn't see yesterday's YouTober video, I actually did an entire solo trip to San Francisco. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about the details of that because I'm sure if you saw my vlog, you saw other people in that video too. So I'm going to go a little bit more into that too. But I wanted to create this video to just share my thoughts and share kind of the thoughts I had going into it, as well as what I learned from that solo trip, because it truly was absolutely awesome. So I wanted to share all of that with you. So with that being said, I just want to jump right into it because I just have so much to say. But if you're not already, please be sure to subscribe. I'm uploading a video every single day in the month of October. And with that being said, on to my thoughts about solo travel. Okay, so I actually originally booked my trip to San Francisco as my first solo trip. I booked it back in July. I've kind of been just going through some stuff this year. It's definitely been a year of change, and I was just feeling like being refreshed through traveling. I love traveling. I've always found every trip I go on, whether it's with friends, with family, whatever it may be, I just always feel like I uncover a new part of myself. I always get out of my comfort zone, and I love that because it just makes me feel so energized whenever I'm outside of my comfort zone doing new things. When I was kind of going through all of this stuff, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna plan a solo trip and see what happens. And I was incredibly nervous, but I am actually a member of a travel club that allows me to book a pre-planned trip through an app. So I basically can just scroll through the app, decide what trips sound good, and book it through that app. And it's so awesome because they actually plan things for you. So you get to do these amazing trips to these beautiful places, and they're usually really nice, like 4 or 5-star hotels and resorts, and it's just absolutely awesome because they do a lot of the prep work for you. So when I did my San Francisco trip, that entire first day when I went to the wineries was actually already planned when I got there. They have an on-site host through the company that's there to answer any questions. They're kind of just as a resource. So as it was my first solo trip, I felt really comfortable booking through this because I knew that there would be somebody there, like if I had any questions or concerns or anything like that. So I was really comfortable with this being my first solo trip going through this group that I'm a part of. I booked my trip to San Francisco. That whole first day was entirely planned for us. So we got the wineries included. We got a wine reception the night before, which was really awesome as part of like a welcome reception. Then we went and stopped at the Golden Gate Bridge. We did Sausalito, so many things. And then it also included the tour on the double-decker bus. So if you saw my vlog, you probably already know what I'm talking about, but it included so much. And then it also includes your hotel stay. So I didn't have to do any research on any of that. But then the whole third day was entirely up to us. So that was the day that I was a little nervous about because this was really out of my comfort zone. I've never done anything like this before. So for me to just have an entire day like exploring, I've never even really fully explored Chicago in that way, and I'm from Chicago. So I was a little nervous going into this knowing that I was gonna have a full day of kind of no plans. And while I did know that I was gonna meet some people through that welcome reception and kind of meet other people that were traveling on this trip as well, I really kind of wanted to take that day to just be kind of independent on my own and explore a new city and just see what happens. Love going out of my comfort zone and wanted to explore that a little bit. So going into San Francisco with no plan on that third day was definitely a little nerve-wracking. Like when I walked out of my hotel room that first day, like that morning, I was nervous, but I was just so excited to be pushing myself out of my comfort zone. And that's the first thing I really loved about doing this trip, was this whole thing was completely out of my comfort zone. I'd only been on an airplane by myself one other time. It was for a job interview, so I literally just like went to a hotel, went to the job interview, went home. So it was kind of like, I mean, technically I guess that's solo travel, but I wasn't exploring or doing anything like that. So this was really my first time really stepping out of my comfort zone like that. And I just, every time I do, I'm like even more of a firm believer in getting out of your comfort zone as much as you can, even in your everyday life. Like I definitely want to be doing that more because it just makes me feel so energized. And that whole trip, I was so much more, I pushed myself so much more to talk to more people. Like I met so many people from the UK, from Canada. I met a girl from France. I had a couple sitting next to me that I'm pretty sure was from Ireland. I'm not 100% sure. I didn't actually talk to them, but it just sounded like it from their accents. But it was just the coolest thing. Like I met so many people, and it was because I was pushing myself out of my comfort zone to talk to people. So everywhere I went, I was sitting down and actually having conversations with people. I'd open myself up, and I am definitely an extroverted introvert, so I'm not afraid to talk to people, but it's not not something that I would normally go out of my way to do when I was out somewhere. So doing that really just pushed me out of my comfort zone and got me to meet so many more people and have so many more experiences that I wouldn't have had otherwise. The other thing I really loved about traveling solo was I got to just spend a lot more time with myself. And I know that sounds really obvious because I'm solo traveling, but it was so cool to just have that time completely to myself. I unplugged from work entirely, so I didn't do any video editing, I didn't do any freelance work, any teaching, anything like that. I did absolutely nothing while I was there. I wanted to completely unplug and just be present, and I did do some like photography and things like that, but it's just because I love doing that and I love photo editing, so it was just more of a hobby thing, not necessarily like work related while I was there. But it was really cool because I journaled a ton. Like I think I wrote a total of about 12 pages in my journal from that weekend, and it was awesome. Like I really just got to see where my head was at. I got to see how I've been feeling about just everything that's been going on in my life, all the changes, all the transitions, everything that's happening, and it was really cool. So it really gave me a fresh perspective on where I am in my life and how I'm feeling about things, and I think that's really needed. I think that all of us can benefit from taking a step back from our day-to-day motions and actually sitting down and looking at where we actually are, and it was really cool to be able to experience that. I even tried new things. Like I tried new wines, I tried new foods. I really just overall tried new things, and it really challenged even just my perspective on, I think we all put ourselves into a box, you know, and this is how we identify ourselves. And I think this trip and traveling by myself really opened up my eyes to, okay, what does that box look like for me? And is that the box I want to be in? And it was just very self-reflective, and I loved it. It brought me back with such a refreshed mindset on things, and just a more content, like a feeling of contentment with my life. You know, there's always gonna be stuff going on in your life, and I think that I can definitely be someone who can overthink that at times and overanalyze things and overthink things to death, but this trip really helped me take a step back and just appreciate the beauty and the people I met and the experiences I got to have, and just be present in that. So that's the other thing I loved, was that this solo trip really helped me just be so present in the moment, and it allowed me to take that back with me when I came home. And I think that's just the coolest thing. So those are my thoughts on solo travel. I absolutely loved it. I cannot wait to go again. I haven't booked my next one yet, but I am planning on it as soon as I decide where I want to go. I think I'm going to Mexico in December or January. I haven't decided that yet. And then my friend Maddie and I want to go on a trip too, which wouldn't be a solo trip, but you know, still fun. Girls trip. Anyways, so yeah, that is all I have for today's video. I hope you liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you have solo traveled anywhere before, I would love to know where you've traveled to. Drop it in the comments below, or if you're thinking about traveling somewhere, let me know. I love talking all things travel. But thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any other YouTuber videos, and I will see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye guys.